Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Light amidst the embers. The story of Al-Nur Mosque and the solidarity of Los Angeles residents. Los Angeles, a city known as the center of glitz and diversity, was hit by a great trial on a hot summer night. A massive fire swept through the western part of the city, razing homes and buildings to the ground. The hot Santa Ana winds fueled the fire even faster, making the night full of smoke and raging flames. Amid the hustle and bustle of the panicked city, there was one place that stood strong. Al-Nur Mosque. The simple building with clean white walls was a silent witness to the tragedy that struck Los Angeles. However, on that night, the mosque was not only a place of worship, but also a symbol of unity and humanity. Fire burns, hope grows. Around 8 in the evening, the sound of fire sirens echoed in the air. Residents from various backgrounds began to leave their homes in search of a safe place. Many of them did not know where to go. When the main street was covered in flames, the only open place they could go to was Al-Nur Mosque. The doors of the mosque, which is usually filled with worshippers, are now wide open to anyone. The mosque's imam, Sheikh Ahmed, and volunteers stand at the door, welcoming everyone who comes regardless of religion, skin color, or background. "Come in! You are safe here!" Sheikh Ahmed shouts as he helps a mother with 2 young children inside. Unity in the midst of disaster. The mosque, which usually accommodates only about 300 people, is now packed with more than 1,000 people. The prayer mats that are usually used for prayers are now seats for exhausted families. Children sleep in corners, while adults share stories and drinks. Some of the mosque's congregants quickly set up a makeshift kitchen in the backyard. They cook simple meals such as soup and bread to share with the evacuees. Meanwhile, young Muslims work together to help firefighters carry water supplies and rescue equipment to nearby locations. "In times like these, we are all one family," said Layla, a volunteer distributing food. "There is no Muslim or non-Muslim, just people helping each other." Light in the darkness. The fire was finally brought under control by morning, but its effects were still felt. Many residents lost their homes, belongings, and sense of security. But at the Al-Nur Mosque, a sense of brotherhood and solidarity grew. An elderly man named Thomas, a local resident, expressed his gratitude. "I never imagined I would step inside a mosque before, but tonight I found a new home here, not because of the walls, but because of the hearts of the people inside." The story of the Al-Nur Mosque quickly spread across America. The mosque has become a symbol of unity amidst differences. Communities from churches to synagogues to secular groups have sent aid to help the victims of the fire. The Los Angeles fire tragedy not only burned down buildings, but also burned down the walls that separated people. The Al-Nur Mosque, which means light, has become a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that in the midst of darkness, the light of humanity will always shine brightly. Al-Nur Mosque, a shelter amidst the great Los Angeles fire. Los Angeles, a city known for its Hollywood glitz and blue skies, once experienced a great tragedy when a wildfire spread to residential areas. The great fire that occurred that year forced thousands of residents to flee their homes. In the midst of the disaster, Al-Nur Mosque, located in the heart of the Los Angeles community, emerged as a place of refuge and hope for many. A brief history of Al-Nur Mosque. Al-Nur Mosque was founded in 1985 by the local Muslim community. The name Al-Nur, which means light in Arabic, reflects the mosque's mission to be a source of enlightenment, peace, and unity. As a place of worship, education, and social activities, the mosque has become a center of spiritual and cultural life for many people from all walks of life. The Great Los Angeles Fire. When the Great Fire broke out, the flames spread quickly due to strong Santa Ana winds. Thousands of homes burned, and many residents were forced to evacuate within hours. Amidst the chaos, Al-Nur Mosque opened its doors wide to anyone in need of shelter. Al-Nur Mosque is a place of refuge. Al-Nur Mosque is not only a place of worship, but also a place of refuge for people of all faiths and backgrounds. The mosque management immediately coordinated to provide emergency needs, such as temporary shelter. The main hall of the mosque was converted into makeshift beds with mats and blankets. Food and drink. Volunteers cooked hot meals every day, providing halal food that could also be enjoyed by everyone. Medical services. The mosque worked with local medical personnel to provide healthcare for victims who were injured or affected by the smoke. Emotional and spiritual support. Amidst the uncertainty, the mosque also offered emotional support and joint prayers to provide peace of mind for the evacuees. Solidarity across communities. What was most impressive about this event was the solidarity that existed between the various communities. People from various backgrounds, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, and others, worked side by side to help those in need. Volunteers came from all over the city, bringing clothing, food, and cash donations. Sarah Johnson, a resident whose home was destroyed by the fire, said, "I never thought I would find such a warm and loving place. Masjid Al-Nur really saved us. I am so grateful to the Muslim community for helping us, no matter who we are." Lessons from tragedy. After the fire was extinguished, Masjid Al-Nur remained a symbol of unity and hope. The disaster taught Los Angeles residents the importance of helping each other, regardless of their differences. Masjid Al-Nur continues to serve as a humanitarian center, hosting relief programs, disaster mitigation seminars, and other social activities. It was a night that turned into chaos, a sea of fire engulfing everything in its path. The sound of sirens wailing, a non-stop roar, echoed among tall buildings and residential areas. A large fire had struck the city, starting from the dry hills in the northern part and spreading rapidly due to strong Santa Ana winds. Houses burned and thousands of residents were forced to leave everything to save themselves. In the midst of the chaos, Lisa Moreno, a young mother, held the hand of her 5-year-old daughter, Elle. "We have to go now," Lisa said in a trembling voice, hastily packing important items like documents and clothes. As they left their home, the heat of the fire could be felt scorching their skin, even though they were miles from the center of the blaze. It wasn't just Lisa. Thousands of other residents were panicking, trying to find safety. Streets were packed with slow-moving cars, while in the distance, the sky glowed with fires creeping closer. There was no clear direction to go. At such a desperate moment, a call came through the local community radio. A male voice with a calm, Middle Eastern accent announced, "Al-Nur Mosque opens its doors to anyone who needs shelter. We welcome everyone, regardless of their background." This message quickly spread through social media, radio, and text messages, bringing hope to those who felt lost. Al-Nur Mosque, one of the largest in Los Angeles, stood in the suburbs. Its magnificent structure, adorned with blue domes and tall minarets, now became a gathering point for those who had lost their homes. Imam Yusuf Abdullah, along with several volunteers, stood at the mosque's gate, warmly welcoming evacuees. "Come in, everyone is welcome here. We will do our best to help," he said, assisting an elderly man out of his car. The mosque's main prayer hall, usually filled with worshipers, was now packed with families from all walks of life: Latino, African American, Asian, and immigrants from different countries. Despite their diverse religious and cultural backgrounds, they were united as humans seeking refuge. The next morning, volunteers distributed food that had been prepared since early dawn. The mosque's courtyard became an emergency kitchen where bread, rice, and warm soup were cooked and served. Among the evacuees was Miguel, a man who had lost his home and job in the fire. He offered to help clean the mosque and distribute food. "I may have lost everything, but I can still help," he said. This spirit of solidarity spread quickly. Refugees began helping one another, forming a community that supported each other amid the crisis. However, not everything went smoothly. Tensions arose on the third morning when two men argued over the last bowl of soup. "I got here first," one said. "We're all hungry, don't be selfish," replied the other. Imam Yusuf intervened to calm the situation. "We are all facing the same difficulties. Please remember we are brothers in humanity," he reminded them. Good news eventually came. A local businessman donated a large amount of food, water, and medical supplies. Trucks arrived, and volunteers worked tirelessly to distribute the provisions. Over time, many refugees found solace and strength in the mosque. Lisa, who initially felt hopeless, began to help educate children using donated stationery. Miguel led efforts to find government assistance for those in need. Even Mark, a Christian teenager who initially came to donate, became an active volunteer, finding inspiration in the spirit of unity around him. As the fire subsided, the Al-Nur Mosque became a symbol of hope and humanity. Friendships formed between people who would have otherwise never crossed paths. Though many evacuees had lost everything, they discovered strength in their shared experiences. Imam Yusuf summed it up best. In the midst of destruction, we find the seeds of renewal. Let this be a lesson for future generations that unity, kindness, and faith can overcome any disaster. The Al-Nur Mosque stood not just as a building, but as an enduring symbol of compassion and humanity. Conclusion. Masjid Al-Nur has proven that in the midst of tragedy, people can find hope through solidarity and compassion. The courage and generosity demonstrated by this mosque community is an inspiration to many, not only in Los Angeles, but around the world.